Hello, guys. Guess what? It's Friday. Now, you all know it's my favorite day of the week and also Saturday. Today, we're going to have story time because, on Fridays we have a little bit of story time. I just realized I bought this other book from Dollar Tree last week and kind of forgot about it. It's called Wink Poetry Midnight. Quote, I can't really pronounce it. It says, a hero, a villain, a liar, who's who. The title is called Wink Not Poetry, Wink Poppy Midnight. And it looks like that. If you like the cover and what the title is, you can go to your local Dollar Tree. And it says, balancing between possibly paranormal and just plain disturbing. Touch Coke walks a fine spine chilling line, high on teen drama, with unexpected twists to intrigue and entertain. What really happened? Someone knows. Someone is lying. So let's just read a little bit of it. I'm not going to read a whole lot on here, just bits and pieces. And then we're going to start reading from my package last week that I got, Nicole Brown. That's one I really want to get into and discuss. We'll get to that in a minute. The original cost for this book would have been US would have been $10.99, Canada would have been $14.99. But I've only paid $1 for this book. Midnight, midnight, midnight. Poppy was saying my name over and over in the drippy, sweet voice that had once set me on fire and now just made me feel cold. I yanked myself out of the peaceful, surreal feeling that Wink had cast. As slowly she played with pencil pockets on hers and smiled at me, her gentle, sad smile that with every little effort she could make seems, we're not over midnight. We're not over until I couldn't even look at her. The peaceful Wink feeling was gone now, entirely gone. All I felt was anger. Poppy reached up and put her hand on my cheek. Her eyes hooked into my skin and pulled my face down toward hers like a fish on a line. I fought her, but not nearly as hard as I wanted Poppy. She won. She always won. And the other book she has out is Deep Blue Poetry book, but it's Wink Poppy Midnight is the title of this book again. Kind of weird for it's out to me. To all the girls with their heads in the clouds. And this book come out. I'm trying to figure it out. It's a New York book. It came out in 2016. Copyright in 2016. So, yeah. I like New York bestsellers, best time. Joseph Campbell. I like that. You are the hero of your own story. So if you think about it, you an author, or just say you ain't an author. I'm not an author yet because I never published my book out to the world. But I am a writer. That's a good, I think that's cool. Midnight. This here is to midnight. The first time I slept with Poppy, I cried. We were both 16, and I've been in love with her since I was a kid. Since I was still reading monster comics and spending too much time sleight of hand tricks because I wanted to be a magician. I did for Poppy. She was a girl next door who fell off her bike and laughed at her bloody knees. She was a neighborhood hero who organized games of Burn the Witch and got everyone to play. The high school queen who reached forward one day during math class, grabbed Holly Blood's thick white blonded hair in her fist and cut it off at the skull while Holly screamed and screamed. Sounds like she's kind of bully there, huh? All because someone said Holly's hair was prettier than her own. This girl Poppy seems vindictive, don't she? So you get an idea what this story's about. The boy was in love with her. She was Poppy. After we slept together, I started crying, just because my heart was so full. Just a couple of small little tears. Poppy shoved me off and stood up and laughed. It wasn't a nice laugh. It wasn't. It wasn't. Uh, we both lost it together. How wicked of us. How fantastic. I will always love you because we did this. One big thing for the first time together. Kind of laugh. No, it was more of a is all it is, and you're crying over it. Kind of laugh. Poppy slipped her long white limbs into her pale yellow dress, like milk sliding into melted butter. She was a plant facing me, and the ray of light shone right through her thin summer clothes, outlining her sweet girl parts in a way I would think of over and over again afterward until it drove me. And midnight, you're going to be the best looking guy in school by senior year. Poppy leaned her elbows on the windowsill and stared out at the dark. Our high mountain air was thin but clean, and it smelled even better at night. Pine and juniper and earth. The night smells mingled with the smell of jasmine. Poppy dabbed in front of a tiny glass bottle in her pocket, each earlobe, each wrist. That is why I let you have me first. I wanted to give it to him. He's the only boy I'll ever love, but you don't know anything about him, and I'm not going to tell you anything about him. My heart stopped, started back up again. Poppy. My voice was weak and whispery, and I hated it. She tapped her fingers on the sill and ignored. Poppy swept her blonde hair back behind her shoulder in that gangly, awkward way she still had then. It was completely gone by the time school started up. She was nothing but smooth elegance and cold, precise movements. And now no one will be able to say I didn't have taste. Midnight Hunt, even when I was very young. You're going to be so beautiful at 18 that girls will melt just looking at you. Your long black lashes, your glossy brown hair, your blue eyes. But I had you first, and you had me first, and it was a good move on my part, a brilliant move. So you get an idea. This story is basically about two young kids who fall in love, and this one girl's vindictive. If anyone looks at her guy wrong or say that they're prettier than her, she's going to go try to pick on them and bully them. Poppy sounds like a bully, and Midnight is in love with Poppy. So get an idea what this book is about. So if you like this book, what I read now, you know I've still been reading on The Love and Other Foreign Words. That's still a great book, and so far I am on chapter 5. That's how good that book is, and I've only had it a week, and I'm on chapter 5. So if you want to order you a copy of this, if they have it at your local Dollar Tree, feel free to pick you up a copy. And I advise you read it from front to end. No dull moment in this one. It's very great. Now we're going to talk about Nicole Brown. You know you all shared a package where I got this last week or week before. And I'm so excited. I didn't think it was going to be a hard copy, which I said that in the video. It's The Private Diary of a Life Interrupted by Faye D. Resnick with Mike Walker. You've heard the rumors, now read the truth. This is supposed to be the truth, what happened. In the media explosion surrounding the most sensational murder case in American history, millions of words have been written by the press, but most coverage has centered on O.J. Simpson. Now, at last, the world will hear the voice of Nicole Brown Simpson speak for the first time in this private diary by Faye D. Resnick, Nicole's best friend and sometimes roommate. In the weeks before the O.J. Simpson murder trial, TV newspaper stories called Faye D. Resnick the mystery woman, the last friend who spoke to her in a lengthy phone call about 1 hour before her death. Rumors and press reports say Faye had left the country, was hiding in Europe or South America. The media couldn't find her, and neither could OJ or his defense lawyer, Robert Shapiro, perhaps the last man in America, except for OJ himself, who wants the world to many others in the violent cycle of spousal abuse. She was abused in her marriage. She was married to him. It's got biography pictures in here. And let's just see. I've always wanted to copy this book, and I finally got it. So let's flip on through here. The book was printed out in copyrighted in 1994, printed in the United States of America. And if you was to buy this copy, $14.95 USA, $19.95 in Canada. So my copy, it wasn't that expensive. Maybe $12, 12 books or something. Acknowledgements. Special thanks to my publisher, Michael Venner, for his wisdom, his understanding, and his infinite patience. To my collaborator, Mike Walker, for his dedication, expertise. To my friend, attorney, Arthur Behrens, who urged me to write this book. She didn't really want to do it because it was so painful and personal. To my friend and attorney, Arthur Behrens, who urged me to write this book. To Sally, Nesbitt, Terry, Maxine, Frankie, and blah, blah, blah. That's just all the people she thanked. The acknowledgements. We're going to skip to that. Ain't going to read all that. To Karen Fawcett, do you understand and caring hospitality? Forward. To the professional thieves for hire who stole personal journals and photographs from my home and in the wake of the OJ murders, I say. Attempts to intimidate me and silence me have only strengthened my resolve to write this book. Your invasion of my privacy and the placing of phone taps at the home have literally put me in fear for my life. They both, which was OJ, I have no doubt about who sent you to steal my property. The only journals you stole were those covering the time period leading up to the murder of my best friend, Nicole Brown Simpson. Like other friends of Nicole, I have suffered through sleepless nights, thoughts of suicide, thoughts, not me, this is what the book said, of fleeing my own country. But I will not do any of these things. I will, with all the honesty I can muster, write about the events that led up to this awful crime. In doing this, I know I must be unflinchingly truthful about myself. Writing this book has been painful, like most, from exposing my innermost secrets and my most private and intimate actions. But to tell Nicole's story honestly, I must also tell you mine. But to tell Nicole's story, yeah, some of what I say can never be incorporated. Nicole and I had many conversations, discussed many events that were meant to be private forever, especially toward the end of her life. I cried when I heard that she died. But on all that I hold sacred, I promise you the truth. I know that powerful allies of O.J. Simpson will do everything in their power to discredit me, but they will fail, because the ultimate and central fact is not me or what they will say about me. What matters is the truth. You all know. You hear lots of rumors, a lot of people trying to think they know this person's life, and they come to find out it's rumors and lies just to make themselves look good in the media. And they pretty much bash this woman. Her sister and her look identical alike. If her hair was blonde, if her sister's got black hair, but she looks identical to Nicole. If you actually saw them up close, they look like twins. I cried when this lady died, and when the other guy, her friend, died. It broke my heart so many years ago, but it's very painful to go back and look at that on that event, knowing they lied and they bashed his family. She had small kids back then. Imagine what her children, whole family went through. It's sad. This book is dedicated to the most wonderful friend I've ever known, and to the woman everywhere who are humiliating relationships, I'll get it out in a minute, like the one Nicole did not survive. And if this book inspires even one woman to seek help and escape in a cycle of violence, what Nicole used to sorrowfully call her little secret, then any embarrassment I suffer will be an acceptable price to pay. Nicole, you have no one to speak for you. Let me try. She died. They she didn't get a chance to get her story out to. So her best friend pretty much wrote about her. Her best friend wrote this book, which Nicole didn't get to. Chapter 1, The DA. Los Angeles, California, July of 1994. Everybody's familiar with Marcia Clark. She was attorney of O.J. Simpson. Leveled her trademark power stare at me from across her desk. In the weeks and months to come, television viewers will marvel, exclaim at that steely, unflinching gaze as Prosecutor Clark battled what many call the greatest defense team ever assembled for the murder trial. "I'd like you to make a statement, Faye," she told, feeling that in spite of all the media hype, to the contrary here was a gentle and forthright woman, I thought. I love the smell of books that I buy. It's just got that certain scent. It's so sad I might even can't even read through this whole chapter. It's just a formidable lady with those wide, piercing eyes. Yet there she sits with all the force of the district attorney's office behind her. I was facing Marcia Clark without my lawyer, who was on business in Ishable that day. But he told me, "Faye, Marshall, you have nothing to hide. I think the two of you would get along just fine." He was right. I immediately felt comfortable as we began to talk. I cleared my throat and leaned forward. "Marcia, I just don't feel I can make a statement right now, although I certainly intend to do so. I would gladly appear for the prosecution as a character witness. But try to understand, I need time to collect myself and to calm down. I believe my life is in danger because of what I know." Her best friend felt like she was in danger herself. I paused. God, I thought, she must think this sounds so melodramatic. It wasn't hers, the fear that had stalked me every waking and sleeping moment since that night of horror when my best friend Nicole Brown Simpson was butchered along with Ron Goldman, a warm, dexterous young man. The circle of friends O.J., Nicole, and I had moved in was now seamlessly divided into two camps. Those in the latter group, as Nicole's best friend O.J.'s confidante, I knew many devastating secrets. That is why I felt certain I was in danger. O.J.'s head lawyer, Robert Shapiro, and his defense team had quickly surmised where I stood on the question of O.J. Simpson's guilt, character, and conduct as it related to a possible motive for Nicole's murder. Then that the only way to get through this harrowing ordeal was to be obviously candid with myself and everyone else involved in the case. O.J.'s defense team had never explicitly threatened me, but the veil threatens behind the words they said to me to numerous calls were unmistakably frightening. I became convinced that my paranoia wasn't merely imagined when certain pictures and documents mysteriously disappeared from my home. Then came another horror. Word leaked to me by friends, reporters that O.J. and his lawyer had discussed the flirting, the stoning, and absolutely groundless claim that Nicole and I had borrowed money from Colombian drug dealers to open a coffee house, but it was just talk. So my first reaction when I heard their ludicrous accusation, my lawyer, Arthur Barons, he suggested I make a tape in his office for the record, which I did using the material from my diaries before they were stolen. These tape recordings became the bias for this book. If it wasn't for Faye's Nicole's best friend, the information recordings the book probably would never got published. So this is a true story. This is after the fact that she was murdered. People are trying to tell lies on her, telling lies. So you order this book and y'all get a glimpse on what, it's sad. The extremes people go to try to shut somebody up. All because they're trying to get the truth known out there. The truth will set you free. Remember that, you all. The truth shall set you free. I actually thought Nicole written it. They stole notes and journals from her and her best friend. She's then got killed. The book was actually even published. So get you a copy. You can order it online. All the years from since 94 until 2019, I got my own copy. Yay! And I hope you all ordered the little bits of story time and reviewing that I just read. Feel free to comment below. And if I have the answers, I'll be gladly to share it with you. And you all have a great Friday. And take care. I'm going to advertise both of these books, as these are the ones that I've actually read today. You all have a great Friday. Bye.